Hello, everyone. Hello, hello. Welcome to our Circle Info session. I'm super excited to meet you today. And my name is Yulia Denisyuk. I'm a travel photographer and writer. I'm an entrepreneur also. And right now I'm doing this info session from Jordan, actually. I just had my group trip here in Jordan, and now I'm staying here in Jordan for the rest of the year. I'm in the capital right now, Amman, in this lovely place called the Rumi Cafe. So if there is some noises around me, that's why. It's because I'm in a coffee shop. You can see behind me here is a very lovely illustration of the whirling dervish, which is sort of the theme for this coffee shop here. But so I thought I would take an hour and do this session for you guys to help explain a little bit more on what we do in the circle and how the circle can be useful for you. We have a really amazing community here, and of course I'm very biased, but we really do have an incredible community of people inside the circle who all support and encourage one another. And I'd love to see how the circle can be helpful for you as well. So if you are watching this info session and you are wondering how you can start pitching your stories to publication, if you want to work with different tourism boards around the world, if you want to make travel in general a bigger part of your life, if you want to be in community with some pretty amazing women creators, photographers, writers, storytellers who support each other, if you want to do all of these things, then the circle is definitely the right place for you. And if you feel like you don't have the support that you need right now, if you feel like you're sort of just on your own trying to figure this out, then the circle is definitely the place for you. And how did the circle even come about? So here is the coffee shop. Coffee machine is working, so hopefully you guys can hear me well. But I started teaching travel journalism last year, and I had a masterclass called Storytellers in Action, which is the class that I now teach twice a year, and our next one is actually enrolling very soon in November. And the class gives you the foundation of the travel journalism industry, the media landscape, what are the first steps you need to take, how do you pitch publications, how do you work with tourism boards, all of that stuff. And it's really a culmination of my own 5 years of experience of working in this field that I put in that class. And the class is great, but what I've heard students tell me after the class is over was sort of like, well, now what? Like, what do we do now? The class is over. The support that you've been giving us is over. And a lot of them felt like they were sort of falling off. And that's how the circle really came about. It was meant to be this ongoing support for people who want to continue in the industry, who want to continue pitching, continue working with editors and getting their stories published. So if you're looking for that ongoing support, then the circle is definitely the right place for you. So I wanted to tell you a little bit about what we do in the circle, right? So what is a typical month inside a circle looks like? So there are sort of three big components to what we do. First, we have sessions together, calls together, right? Zoom calls together, just like the one we're having now, where we do all kinds of different things. We have calls once a month. At the beginning of the month, we have a call where I set the theme for the month. So what are we going to be talking about inside the circle for the rest of the month? And for example, last month in October, the theme was working with tourism boards. So I shared with our members, some best practices of working with tourism boards. this month we have a theme of asking for more money. So how do you negotiate when your pitch gets accepted, for example, and an editor comes back to you with a certain rate? How do you negotiate a bigger rate, a higher rate from the get-go? When you're just a beginner, when you're just building your portfolio, you can already start asking for a higher rate. So that's a topic that we're covering this month. And then, you know, for example, at the beginning of next year, one of our topics for the month will be responsible storytelling, and we'll have a travel writer come in who's going to talk to us about you know, best practices of doing that. So these are sort of these very structured calls at the beginning of the month that set the theme for what we're going to be doing inside the circle. Then we also have another monthly call where we do a round robin style brainstorming session where we all come with ideas that we have that we perhaps want to pitch somebody, or we don't even know where to pitch, but we have some ideas that we want to discuss. We come into this call and we all share those ideas. We give feedback to each other and spark new ideas. And that call is usually one of our most favorites for our members because, you know, they always come away with more ideas as well. And then we also have weekly check-in calls, 30 minutes long. At the you know, every Monday we have a call that just sort of get our head straight for the week, and we're like, hey, what's up? You know, what's coming up for you this week? What are you perhaps maybe some challenges that you want to discuss, or anything that's on your mind? Sort of really quick check-ins that again let us know that we're not alone, right? That we're working on our pitches, on our ideas all together, and we have the support when we need the support. We have it all here. So that's the close part of the circle. The second part of the circle is the online discussion space that we have. It's not on Facebook. I created a whole complete new, like a separate space, a separate platform, so you're not going to be distracted by Facebook groups or any of that. And what we do inside that space is, of course, we have different discussions. People ask questions, you know, I answer them, other members answer them. We have a pitch review, which is a section where you can put your pitch up for review, and I will critique it, and I will give you some feedback and some suggestions before you send it out. And we also have a top 5 opportunities section, which is where I post curated opportunities to pursue in the travel media space. I hand select them every 2 weeks and I post them there. You know, go pitch this magazine right now. They're looking for stories, or go submit your idea here. You know, it's that kind of thing that you can always look at and see if there's something there that piques your interest, that you want to perhaps pitch somebody or approach somebody. And finally, we also have a WhatsApp group where, you know, if you need the most direct access to me, if you need to ask me some urgent questions, or if you want to just share some of your wins or some of your worries, some of your challenges, that WhatsApp group is there for us as well. So that's sort of a big picture overview of what the circle looks like. And again, my intent with this community is to really make sure that you feel supported, that whenever you have a question, whenever you're not sure what to do, you know that there is a resource that you can turn to that will guide you on this career path. I want to talk a little bit about the results that we get in the circle, right? Because at the end of the day, yes, we are joining, people are joining the circle because they don't want to be alone. They want to get support. They want to get resources if they want their travel stories published. But at the end of the day, why are we all here? We're here to get published, right? We're here to advance our careers, to build portfolios and such. And so I want to talk a little bit about the results that our members are getting. And what I want you to understand here is that pitching and publishing your stories is not an overnight success kind of story, unfortunately, right? It's going to take some time. It's going to take time to build relationships with editors. It's going to take time to hone your voice, to understand your niche and the kind of stories you want to tell. It's going to take time to build portfolio. Even the timeline for, you know, pitching and getting stories like getting pitches accepted and then getting stories published is a long timeline a lot of times. So all of it takes time. But if you are dedicated, if you're consistent, if you're systematic in your approach, then you're going to see results. You're absolutely going to see results. And that is what our members are seeing. And I think the big benefit of the circle is that we help you stay on that path, right? We help you stay consistent. We help you keep pitching. We help you keep reaching out to editors because you feel like somebody's got your back when you do that. But in terms of the results, so our members, since joining us in the circle, have been published in places like Matador Network, like Pilgrim Magazine, like a Canadian newspaper called Toronto Star, outlets like Huffington Post, Shondaland, and even Time Magazine. So that's a story that I'm especially proud of. That's one of our members has been published in Time Magazine. So, but beyond those very tangible results of getting published, what our members are also getting is that they're getting this expanded definition of what's possible for them. And in some ways, I think that's even more powerful, because when you feel like suddenly your vision of what you can create for yourself in the travel space, it suddenly that vision expands and you suddenly feel like you can do much more than you ever thought was possible. That is a huge benefit that a lot of our members are talking about as well. Okay. And there's also opportunities inside our community that our members are sharing with each other. So for example, we recently had a member share an opportunity to write for a travel startup, for example, right? So you can start building your portfolio that way. There's lots of different ways that we try to nurture and support each other inside the circle, okay? So let's now talk about the 3 different tiers that you can join us at, because at first, when we first started the circle, we only had one sort of level, one tier at which you could join us, but I wanted to give people more options on how they can engage with us. And so we recently came up with 3 different tiers in which you can join the circle. We have the Imagine tier, we have the Rise tier, and we have the Soar tier. And they sort of go from the least engagement to the most engagement inside the circle. So if you sort of want to dip your toes and see what the circle is all about, then the Imagine tier is great for you. This tier gets you access to a private podcast that we offer to all of our members, where all of the recordings of all of the calls we have are issued. So you won't find this podcast anywhere publicly, but for our members, we offer this as an additional benefit that, you know, if you weren't able to make a live call, but you want to catch up on all the conversations that we're having, on the workshops, on the, you know, things that we're learning inside the circle, then you have this private podcast that you can just listen to anywhere you want. And if you just want to sort of dip your toes into the circle, then that's a great level to start at, because again, it gives you that access to the private podcast. You can listen, you can sort of get a feel if that's something that you want to engage with more. And Imagine level is $27 a month. The next level is called the Rise level, and it's $97 a month. And what you get here is everything in Imagine, right? So you're getting that private podcast, but you're also getting access to our online space that I talked about, where you can post your questions, where you can see what other members are talking about. You can post your pitches for review. Again, very important, because you will get my feedback, my critique of your pitches. You will get access to that top 5 opportunities I talked about, so you can start pitching already. And you also get access to 1 monthly brainstorming call, that pitch brainstorming call I talked about, the round robin style call. You get live access to that. So you can join us for 1 live call and you have the online space and the private podcast. That's all yours for $97 a month, and that's the Rise level. And then if you're ready to engage with us in the fullest way possible, if you want to get more access to me, weekly access to me, right? Every week we do those Monday check-ins where I guide and coach all of our members. If you want access to the WhatsApp group that we have where you can ask your questions at any time, then the SOAR tier, our highest tier, is right for you. It's $247 a month, and it includes basically everything we do in the circle, including all the live calls and everything else as well. Okay, so 3 tiers. You can choose which one is right for you depending on how you want to engage with our community. And I also wanted to tell you why right now, November 2021, is a very good time to join us. So first of all, that November theme that I talked about earlier, asking for more money, this is a really important conversation, and it's a really important theme that we're covering this month in the circle. And if you want to learn how to be better at asking for more money, how do you do that in this industry, then you should join us now. Of course, if you join us later, you will get recording. You will get a recording of the workshop. But if you want to sort of be in it as it happens, as we talk about it, then right now is a great time. The second reason why, because next month in December, inside the circle, we're going to have a workshop with an editor at some of the biggest magazines in the industry, Afar, Condé Nast Traveler, Bon Appetit, and others. She's a heavyweight in the industry. She's been in this industry for a long time, and she's just absolutely wonderful. And this editor is going to come in and do a workshop for our members in December. So if you want to, again, learn from her, understand what editors are looking for, and be able to ask her questions, then right now is a really great time to join the circle, to be able to attend that. And then finally, I mentioned at the beginning that later this November, I am reopening enrollment for my Storytellers in Action Travel Media Masterclass. So that's that class. It's a 6-module, 6-week class in which I teach the fundamentals of this industry. And enrollment to that class is reopening later this month. For our members, for our circle members, they will get a 10% discount for this class. So if a class, if you've been considering to take that class, if you join the circle now, you will be able to get that class at a special discount that's available to our circle members only. Okay, so some really good reasons to join us right now. So I want to keep this short. I don't want to do like a very long, hour-long info session. I know everybody's time is limited now, and attention spans are really short as well. So this is a really brief overview of what the circle is all about. Again, I am very fortunate and very grateful to be able to do this work with our members. Again, I'm very biased, but I think we have the best community in the travel media industry out there, really supportive, really encouraging, and our members really are on the path to doing incredible things in this industry. So I hope this this overview was useful to you, and I'm going to answer now some of the questions that people often ask us. But if you have any more questions after watching this, feel free to send me an email or message me on Instagram. You can send me an email at hello@geniuswomen.co, hello@geniuswomen.co. Or you can also send me a message on Instagram. I'm at In Search of Perfect, or also Genius Women. We have an Instagram account as well. So if you have any more questions after watching this, feel free to reach out. I'm very happy to answer your questions, okay? So now let me see. So we often have questions that people ask us. So let me cover some of them now. First, people often ask if like what level of their career do they need to be at in order to join? What level of their careers do they need to be at? Do they need to be complete beginners? Do they need to be already published? Do they need to be experienced? Like, right? What is the level? And my answer to that is all of the above. Honestly, all of the above. Because if you are a beginner, if you don't know anything about this industry, if you have this dream of getting published, but you really have no idea where to start, if you don't have anybody that you can reach out to and ask questions and get some guidance, then the circle is going to be amazing for you. If you've already been published, maybe you've been published here and there, but it's been sort of uneven or not consistent, then we're gonna provide that consistency and that structure and that support for you so that you keep going and you keep pitching and you keep building your portfolio. And if you're already established in the industry, like myself, I am so happy to welcome you in the circle, because even as an established creator, and this is speaking from personal experience, we still need support. We still need that community. And for myself, for the most part of the last 5 years, this has been a very, very lonely journey. I didn't have people that I could reach out to because this industry is quite competitive and people don't want to share resources. They don't want to share knowledge. And, I want to change all of that with the circle. So if you're an experienced level creator in the travel media space, you will find amazing value from the support, from the brainstorming, from the community that we have as well. Okay. And what the other question that people often ask us is, do I need to be a writer? Do I need to be a photographer? Do I need to be a videographer? Like, who do I need to be? Do I need to be a blogger? And the people who have already joined us in the circle are sort of coming from all walks of life, but they are interested in creating stories, right? They're interested in creating stories. We have photographers in the community. We have writers in the community. We have people who have never done this before, who come from corporate backgrounds or marketing backgrounds, and who are now starting on this path as well. So don't worry so much about, I'm not a writer, or I'm not a photographer, or I am a photographer. Do I need to be a writer as well? The main thing is that you want to create stories, right? You want to pitch photography stories, you want to pitch articles, maybe you want to pitch videos to travel magazines, maybe you want to be a blogger who builds their own publishing empire. It's not as important what your actual hard skill is. More important is what is your motivation, and if you want to publish stories in the travel space or not, right? That's more important, because that's the guidance that we're going to give you. And yes, we work with writers, we work with photographers as well. And again, sorry about all the noises. Like I mentioned earlier, I'm in the coffee shop here in Jordan, but hopefully you guys can hear me well. Okay. The other question I want to answer is, what if I don't find the circle useful? And what I want to say to that is that I'm pretty sure that you will. I'm pretty sure that you will find the inspiration, the support, the guidance from me inside the circle. But if you don't, the good thing about the circle is that it's a month-to-month situation, right? So it's pretty low risk. So try it for 1 month. If you don't like it, you can cancel. You can just reach out to me and cancel it with no questions asked. So I'm pretty sure you will love it and you won't want to cancel. But if you do, of course, that's totally possible. And then finally, people also ask us, what if I am not based in the United States? Can I still join the circle? And the answer to that is absolutely yes. As you can see right now, I'm not in the United States as well. I've led our calls from Chicago, from California, from Barcelona, from now Jordan as well. We try really hard to come up with the schedule for our calls that works for most time zones. so that people can join us from most anywhere. But if that's not the case, then you always have the recording of the calls as well. So if you're not based in the US, that's absolutely not a problem. We try to work with our members to come up with a schedule that works for everyone. Okay. So that's about it. That's what I wanted to share with you today. And again, I hope that this is a useful info session for you. I am really looking forward to meeting you inside the circle. I'm really looking forward to supporting you towards your goals and your dreams, and encouraging you to start on this path, or to continue on this path, or to thrive on this path if you've already been on this path for some time. Okay. So again, thank you so much for checking us out. My name is Yulia Denisiuk. I'm a travel photographer and writer and founder of Genius Women. And if you have any questions, please reach out. Feel free to reach out. And I hope to see you inside the circle as well. Okay. Thanks so much, guys. I will speak to you soon.